Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for November 1st, 2014, around 8:25 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's cloudy, raw, wet, and a very cold rain. Some parts of the Bay State in Massachusetts, especially central Massachusetts, snowflakes are flying in the air. Wet snow. And it's not going to amount to much, maybe a coating to 2 inches on the grassy surfaces by tomorrow morning and stuff. Winter's here, my friends, in a couple more weeks. Some news to report. The Minnesota Twins are going to name Paul Molitor, the Baseball Hall of Famer, as their new field manager. Paul will be the third Twins field manager in close to 30 years. That's amazing that the Twins have only had 3 managers since 1986. I wonder if he'll do good. Hopefully he'll do good and stay around many years. We'll find out. Okay? And my third and final video blog subject of the night is the personality profile. The personality profile is about Baseball Hall of Famer, the late, great Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett was the heart and soul of the Minnesota Twins from 1984 through 1995. He had a devastating end to his career, and he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tragically, he passed away early in life. Kirby was born and raised in Chicago. He played baseball in high school, and he worked as an assembler for the Ford Motor Company. He took a year off from high school and college to work as an assembler, and then he played baseball at Trinity College in suburban Chicago. He was drafted by the Minnesota Twins in the 1982 Major League Baseball Amateur Draft. He was the 3rd overall pick. He played 2 seasons in the minor leagues, and he got called up to the Minnesota Twins on May 8th, 1984. That was his Major League debut. He was an outfielder, and he hit .296 his rookie season, and he was a mainstay for the Twins for 12 seasons. 10 times he was an All-Star. 2 times he was a World Series champion, 1987, 1991. He won the World Series MVP in 1991. 6 times he was a Gold Glove winner. 6 times he won the Silver Slugger Award. He was the Major League MLB's All-Star Games MVP in 1993. He won the AL batting crown in 1989, 1994. He won the AL RBI championship. He was ranked in the top 10 yearly consistently in several offensive categories in the American League, and he was consistently in the top 10 voting for American League MVP. He never won and made American League MVP, but he was close maybe a couple of times. I think 1989 he was close, and 1992 he was close, but Kirby never won an MVP. He could have won it. He could have won it one of those years, but it wasn't meant to be for him. And Kirby was such an icon in Minnesota. When free agency happened in 1992, a lot of people thought the Twins could not afford Kirby Puckett. And actually he was like whining and dining with several teams. He was actually whining and dining with the Red Sox about trying to sign a contract with them. But at the last minute, it was just this was just leverage for the Twins to sign him to a long-term contract, and they did, because I couldn't imagine Kirby Puckett playing for another team, because he was a player that the Twins for life, even though the Twins play in a small market. Sadly, Kirby Puckett's Major League Baseball career ended. His last game was played on September 28th, 1995, when he got hit by a pitch by Cleveland Indians pitcher Dennis Martinez. It hit his jaw, it broke his jaw, and he never played another Major League Baseball game again. He had an awesome spring training in 1996, hit over 340, but on March 28th, 1996, he could not open up his right eye. He couldn't see from it. He was diagnosed with glaucoma, and 3 surgeries to try to correct the vision in his eye was not successful. To get his vision back in his right eye. he was forced to retire from Major League Baseball in 1996. And his career stats were .318 with 2,304 hits, 207 home runs, and 1,085 runs batted in. If Kirby Puckett stayed healthy, he would have had a legitimate shot to get 3,000 hits. He was only like 696 away from reaching 3,000, and he probably would have got it if he stayed healthy, and this didn't end his career. His number 34 was retired by the Twins, and he worked for the Twins as a vice president for many years. But in the early 2000s, Kirby Puckett's image was kind of tarnished because lots of allegations by women that says Kirby was groping them or assaulting them or like saying some rude comments or harassing them. He had his wife at the time, Tanya, filed for divorce from him. But Kirby was eventually cleared of all these charges, but the tarnished image meant he had to give up his job as vice president of the Minnesota Twins, and then he moved out of Minnesota to Arizona, where he met another lady. They were going to get married, but Kirby Puckett's weight was an issue because he was only 5'8", and after his baseball career ended, he gained way over 300 and 400 pounds, I heard. And he didn't look healthy the final years of his life after all of this charges got him, which was dropped. But I think Kirby fell into a lot of maybe depression after this. Maybe he gained weight eating a lot and stuff like that. And he suffered a massive hemorrhage stroke in March of 2006, and they tried to save his life by surgery, but that was unsuccessful, and Kirby Puckett passed away in March of 2006 at the age of 45. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer in 2001, but he didn't get to enjoy the years as a Hall of Famer until his golden years and stuff like that. Sad that Kirby Puckett passed away at the age of 45, but the Twins honor him in 2010 when they opened up the new Target Field. They have a statue of Kirby Puckett near the ballpark and stuff like that. And Kirby was probably one of the most charismatic players and one of the best players in Minnesota Twins history. And he's probably could have been one of the top 10 outfielders in baseball history if his career wasn't cut short. And it's sad that Kirby Puckett, passed away years ago. It was probably one of the most shocking baseball players' deaths of all time at such a young age. Well, that's about it on that. I'll be back later, Facebook friends, tomorrow morning for 3 more video blogs. One of them I'm going to confirm to you tonight. For you, it's going to be the top 10 greatest professional wrestling jobbers of all time. These are wrestlers who do the jobs on TV tapings, 1, 2, 3, and 2 others I'm not going to mention. If you're my Facebook friend, and you find out the final stats of the night, and don't forget Facebook friends and YouTube followers, you could see the prime 9 of the video blogs I'm having for the personality profiles in the weeks, months, years, decades ahead. Okay, you know who they are, and have a good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. And you have an extra hour of sleep tonight because it's daylight savings time ends. So we gain an hour of sleep, but we lose an hour of sunlight. Have a good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. See you tomorrow.